Listen, we got breaking news to discuss involving Anthony Edwards, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and obviously the Los Angeles Lakers. Listen, now we all know Anthony Edwards. He could get a little overzealous at times. Dare I say, I think he's having one of those moments right about now. Um, dare I say, he's saying that he is ready to face LeBron James. That's a very tall task. That's not easy. And we're going to see if he's successful. But I really think that he needs to keep his eyes and antennas on Mr. Julius Randle, the man who just came over from New York. Now, obviously, it's flight sports. We know I'm a Knicks fan. I seen Julius Randle's struggles in the playoffs, and it just was downright horrifying. I don't believe the Timberwolves can handle a debacle like he did to the New York Knicks. I'm talking about a fall from grace. You talking about a guy who was looked at as possibly an MVP candidate at his height to a guy who can't even score at all. These are the things that was, done to the New York Knicks with Julius Randle there at the helm. Now obviously you have Anthony Edwards. Didn't come here to fool around. Julius Randle this season, he gave you 18 points per game, shooting 48% from the field. Let's see what happens. 7 rebounds. How much of a drop off potentially he could have? Because like I said, it was times where he's averaging over 25 points per game with the Knicks, and then he goes all the way down to 17, and it's an ugly 17. So and these are facts. Check the numbers in the history. So I want to get into this report from Edwards. He came out and said that he can't wait to face LeBron James in the playoffs. The quote was, "It means a lot to be matched up against him. Probably goes down as the greatest player to ever play basketball. He's trying to put him out of the playoffs under my, pardon me, he said trying to put him out of the playoffs under my belt is going to be a tough one." So clearly he's acknowledging that this is going to be a very crazy, task, but he's looking to do that. Edwards got the heart. Now it's all about, do he have the lions to go with him? And I don't know about Julius. My eyes are on him. DiVincenzo, I'm with you. But we really need to be focused on Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is a problem. I think that if the Lakers did not have Luka, I'd probably be taking Minnesota in this series. I think that Luka is the ultimate equalizer here. He's the guy that they're going to have to be concerned with, because as crazy as and electrifying as Edwards is, and the way the media tries to portray him, this guy Luka Doncic is clearly better. We could say this, we could say that. Now he don't jump out the building, like Edwards and stuff like that. It seemed like when Edwards hit a three, it's a little bit more powerful for some reason. I don't know, but Luka is the truth and a half. And you've seen what they did to Minnesota last year when he was with Dallas. They just dismantled them. Now Kyrie was there. Now you got LeBron with you. I really don't think they got the help. I think that his teammates is not going to be there for him. Obviously, Edwards will win you a game or two, possibly, maybe a game. I see this series going 5 games. I got the Lakers winning. It'll be interesting if Minnesota does make it a series. Now, Edwards is hell bent on basically getting back to where they were last season. He doesn't want to have too much of a drop off. That's why he fought to get them to the playoffs. They easily could have fell to the play-in. They went down to the last second with Minnesota. You know, so I don't know what really to say to you here, but you gotta love the confidence. From him. This is what you want to see from the face of the franchise. He did this to Kevin Durant last season. Um, but Julius Randle, man, he really took a shot. You know, at Knicks fans today. He talked about he did an interview today with the Timberwolves ahead of the playoff matchup on Saturday. Make sure you pull up. We're gonna be live tonight too, So make sure you subscribe to Flight Sports TV so you don't miss that dial. It's crazy what's going on, man. Um, Julius, he just basically bigged up the organization of Minnesota. He talked about how he knows his role, and this is the most confident he's felt with the organization, with the coaching staff. Like, why'd you have to do all that? Obviously, he's out of New York. The brights get a little dimmer. Now he's in Minnesota. You got Edwards with you. Yeah, his expectations, but it ain't no expectations like New York City. It ain't no expectations like Madison Square Garden. Yeah, Minnesota went to the conference finals. Pardon me, they almost got to the conference finals. Um, there's no guarantee that they're going to get back there or close back there. It's just telling you right now, it's just not the case. And the weight of the world is not going to fall on you. Everybody's not going to be looking at Julius Randle like, what happened? Even though I'm pretty sure they are about to, because I'm expecting Julius to just fall off. Now he's going back to LA. He was drafted there. You know, I just don't see Julius having the monster numbers. I just don't see it. Julius is known for playoff failures. I expect the failures to continue in Los Angeles. It'll be just like New York, just but in LA. The crowd should be. It ain't gonna be as hostile like a New York crowd. But I just feel like when the lights get bright, Julius won't be there for Anthony Edwards, and we're gonna see Edwards have to one man show it a little too much more than we're gonna like. But that's gonna be his only case to be successful because he's not gonna be able to rely on arguably what is he supposed to be his second option. But they do have pieces, man. So let's see if all of these guys could bring it to the table. But give Anthony Edwards credit, man. He's one of the best players in the world. That's no denying that. If you can't acknowledge that, you a hater. This guy just put up 43 to clinch his playoff spot, against Utah. So, like I said, it went down to the last second. He shot 15 to 31 from the field, 7 of 18 from three. So clearly he's going to let this three ball go. You talking about he let up 18 threes. This is the kind of stuff that Edwards is on, averaging 27 points per game, shooting 44% from the field, 39% from three. So it's definitely a method to the madness here. It's going to be interesting to see if Minnesota could be successful, but you better buckle up because the playoffs is fastly approaching. We got playing basketball tonight. Make sure you pull up. Make sure you hit the bell on the icon. You don't miss that dial. It's Flight Sports TV. You already know what it is. Peace and love. Shout out to everybody.